Remember when we thought Snowy Mizuno and Graham McTavish were on this show? Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is So I'm Watching House of the Dragon, Season 1, Episode 6.
The Princess and the Queen.
I almost said slogging through, but...
Hey! An argument could be made.
Where are we? I get the sense that this wasn't our favorite.
I am still enjoying this show.
I am too. I was about to say, I think I'm liking it more than you guys are.
Okay.
You have eyeliner all over your face.
Shit, really?
It's mascara.
Like, how bad?
Go to Rachel. Go to Rachel. You just had these like...
No, I saw it. Once you said, I saw it.
You were saying that you're not hating it.
I'm not hating it. I'm still enjoying the show as a whole. My issue is that I think I had too big of a break from Game of Thrones, and I forgot how infuriating it is when only the people you like are getting murdered and the people who deserve to die are alive forever. I feel like I'm living in a Stephen King novel.
And the other thing is, I'm not quite having that, like, and credit to your husband, Will, for bringing this up, because it's a very me observation, but I'm not having the wicked fun.
Yeah.
There's not quite someone... Well, we got the dude mincing about in this episode, although I don't like him.
I don't like him. He's not as fun as Tyrion or Varys or Littlefinger, who are the three closest characters to what he is. And so I'm just like, I don't want to hear it from you. Mincing about, clearly trying to get into Alicent's pants.
Okay, so what is the deal with Alicent? Because you all are hard in the trash done with her.
Yeah.
I still understand her a bit. I mean, I found her to be trying this episode, but I completely get where she's coming from.
We got a comment last week, no hate, no shade, but they were like, no, Rhaenyra will be like required to murder Alicent's children once she takes the throne. And I'm like, I don't think so.
I mean, that's the that's typical. But the existence of Rhaenyra getting the throne proves that you can break with that.
Exactly.
And I think that's part of the disconnect for me, is the fact that we've made such a to-do about the girl being the heir, that I'm sort of like, well, then why can't we break some of these other traditions?
Exactly.
And I think it's also slightly confusing with the updated colorblind casting, which I love.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that. But I think it gives a modern audience a false sense of security that we're in a more progressive world than we are.
Sure.
So when they're letting this, like, the weight of this medieval, like, I keep wanting to say bureaucracy, it's not bureaucracy. But
I get it, yeah.
It's like chaining it. It's like holding it down in this way.
I also, not for nothing, the children are also white. But everyone is really focusing. There were multiple shots that were focused on like here up of the baby. And so it's like they're really focusing on the hair and not the fact that those kids aren't brown in a way that I'm like.
But that's where I go back to, it's like in theater.
Yeah.
Like that's where I go back to. It's like part of me is like, oh, we're not meant to be seeing?
That's what I'm not sure. I would just love, like, obviously, we are all aware, yes, 100% those kids do not belong to Laenor. We are all clear 100%.
But
I know that.
There's a part of me where I'm like, why couldn't they have, like, I understand that he's gay and she's not really into it, but you make it happen.
Make one baby.
But that's where I'm on Alicent's side, where she was like, once is a mistake. 3 times you're not even trying. And again, Alicent, I get her, basically, she stepped the fuck up at a point where it was hard.
Alicent?
When she married the king at age 15. You don't think she stepped up?
I don't think she should have married her best friend's dad.
She didn't have a choice, but that's what I'm saying. And she did the job that needed to be done. She has done everything by the books. and she's doing everything the right way. And so I totally understand where this like chip on her shoulder is coming from, that Rhaenyra's not even trying to play the game.
I mean, okay, I agree with you that she and Laenor should have like just sucked it up, got roaring drunk and had one baby, but
I don't know.
The other thing for me, that doesn't really work.
Give it a go! We have no reason to believe they tried.
The point I was trying to make, I wanted to make a joke,
okay,
which is that for the love of God, I want someone to just like draw Alicent to Punnett Square about how the baby could have brown hair somehow.
Oh.
Like it's literally killing me.
But that's part of this whole game. Well, but again, though, modern science doesn't exist because it's like we know.
Then how do they know about sperm?
Did it come? I mean, I just made a comment, but
yeah.
Oh, that's ignorance on my part. You can't blame the show on that. I was trying to hand sperm.
No,
to somebody.
Of course.
No, because I'm saying we know that it's Henry VIII's fault that he wasn't having male heirs
sure.
and none of the women he was killing. Mm-hmm. But it's like the color of the hair is what the original Game of Thrones was hinging on with Joffrey and all the Lannisters. So that I sort of get.
Because that's also my question is like, how on earth does Alicent think it's such a, I mean, maybe because they're both Valyrian, but it's like, how is it such a big deal that all of these kids have brown hair? All of her kids have white hair and she has fucking brown hair.
Well, again, if we're going, maybe they think genetics favors whoever the king is.
Ew. Whatever.
I'm just saying, I'm understanding where she's coming from, especially because you cannot tell me that in any other circle, well, I guess you're saying no. I don't know, because Rhaenyra was blatantly trying to work with her in this episode.
Yeah. And her only response was she's desperate. And I'm like, you also didn't have to shame her for her boobs leaking during the small council meeting. That just happens.
I guess okay.
She was like, Rhaenyra.
I think it was more like, I didn't read that as shaming, as like, I'm not saying it wasn't. I didn't read it that way.
In the midst of all the rest of it, it was disgusting. It was so mean.
Because I was actually just impressed both of them were at the High Council.
Yeah.
I was sort of like, oh. And I mean, yeah, she was sort of like, she's doing things. You get the sense that she's running things a certain way. But I guess I just didn't see the evidence that her way was that wrong.
Alicent?
Yeah.
Well, it's the other thing. It starts from the very beginning of this episode where she demands that the baby be brought to her immediately so she can shove everyone's face in the fact that she knows the baby doesn't belong to Laenor.
Okay. Yeah.
We're all in on this open secret. He's claiming them as his rightful children. Keep your fucking mouth shut.
Also, he was. I'm glad that him and Rhaenyra, that Laenor and Rhaenyra ended on such good terms. Yeah. Because there was elements
in the middle,
and I really like that. I think that especially Emma Darcy, but also Olivia Cook are doing a fantastic job
taking
stepping
over
into, because one would imagine Emma and Olivia are the adult, ergo more established actors, and it's interesting that they are picking up what two younger actresses put down.
And I was actually...
And the casting there, I think, is phenomenal.
No, the casting is phenomenal. I have seen way less of Emma Darcy's work, so I was slightly more worried that they wouldn't be able to pick up the Millie Alcock of it all, but woof, it's so good.
If I were an average, I swear, hand to God, if I were an average run-of-the-mill viewer, I would have been double-digit minutes into the episode by the time I realized it was a different actor.
And then I would have second-guessed myself again at that small council meeting. For sure. For sure.
So I'm really impressed with that. I'm mostly furious because I loved Laena.
Yeah. And I really liked Sir Harwin, too. I'm pissed on all fronts for this.
I don't know. I feel like, granted, we don't know where they're going. We're gonna watch. We're gonna see again. We're not really hating it. It's just we are challenged. We're finding the show challenging. I have
fatigue, and to be honest, so far, because of the way they've handled it and the fact that there's been a couple episodes with female directors, I feel better about this producing team, the behind the scenes team. But I am still having that sort of similar mid to late season Game of Thrones fatigue where I'm like, how much more fucking bullshit am I gonna have to sit through before one blade of grass grows from the frosty ground, you know?
So, because basically Damon and Lena got married and ran off to some kingdom where they were showing off
Pentos.
their dragons.
Yeah.
We got
They've apparently been there for a while.
10 years.
Yeah.
We got 2 new dragons. I don't think we had seen Lena's before.
We only got 1 new dragon.
Well, no, there was the small one.
Oh, that's at King's Landing.
Yeah. So we got 2 new dragons, 3 if you want to count Pink Dancer. We'll get to that in a minute.
Fucking hate kids.
Yeah, I shared that when Will was like, "Oh, great, teenage cunts." Like that'll really even this out. They were awful. So Damon and Lena, they are trading off their dragon showmanship for basically, I don't know. I was kind of on his side there.
I was sort of on his side too.
I'm team fuck off. I'm team fuck off. Go
off
to whatever corner of the world.
And so it's like, I certainly didn't want her to die, which I think is such a fucking waste. Her name is Nana Blondell. Gorgeous and really good. She really stood up.
One of the few who wasn't being, the wig wasn't wearing her.
Oh my God, exquisite.
Also, what was the problem? The babies just don't come out sometimes?
Yeah. That's what C-sections are about.
So before C-sections, they both just died?
Yes.
I don't like that. Believe it or not, my gay ass has not given a lot of thought to...
Why do you think I don't want to try to have a baby?
No, I know.
Yeah.
But I'm just sort of pulling out. I mean...
You can't.
Why?
Because her vagina and her cervix is not open enough.
Okay.
And the baby could be upside down or sideways and there's nothing to do.
Okay, I'm getting there.
And because they don't have, they're like, using a fucking sharp rock to cut her stomach open, she's gonna bleed to death. You mean to tell me?
Embroidery was immaculate. They have needles.
Whatever.
No, I hated that. The Dracarys. It was poetic, but
I did kind of love that she was able to go out on her own terms.
Dragon didn't want to.
No, he really didn't want to.
Such a beast.
He's humongous. It's amazing. In the next episode, apparently someone's stealing him. What I kind of wished, which obviously we would have already known this from Game of Thrones, but I kind of wished that the baby would have been left behind from the fire. I was like, oh. But no, just a couple of carcasses.
I was hoping that the dragon was just gonna, when she ran to the dragon, I was like, oh, he's gonna deliver the baby somehow magically.
With his tooth. And he's gonna be pulling Edward Cullen and C-section her with his fucking teeth.
I thought that would be magic. I don't know what I thought, but what she did was not what I thought she was going to do. Do we have anything to say about the kids? I hate them, all 5 of them, I think.
Oh, I don't hate Rhaenyra's boys. They didn't do anything wrong.
Am I a bastard?
Well, I mean, people are teasing him.
Yeah, and apparently it matters so much.
I don't care
it just matters so much. And fucking Kristen Cole. If I'm marking points against Alicent, it is Kristen Cole.
Now they're bosom buddies, but she's not fucking him, and she's not fucking Larys. She's not fucking anybody because she also hasn't had another baby, so she's not fucking her rotten husband either.
That's why she's so angry.
She's not getting any. With all this, she's just so frustrated because there's all this fucking tapestries everywhere, and she can't get laid.
Speaking of art, if you like quality art, head on over to Movie Palette, where you can get 15% off with the code SHOW15.
They do TV shows. You can get this TV show once it's over. You could definitely do it.
They condense each scene down to a single color into a color schematic. Yeah. That is the movie Showgirls.
Yeah, get it.
So
moviepalette.com, code SHOW15. Amazing segue. I couldn't be more proud of your segue. No, the kids are mostly whatever. But it's Alicent's kids that are shitty. Her one son.
I really liked the scene with her masturbating son, where
I was just gonna say her son is literally jerking it out the window of the Red Keep.
He's making it rain.
Ew!
No, but
poor people down on the ground are just why is there cum in my face all of a sudden?
Oh, it's a dime a dozen down on that ground.
Ew! It's raining cum from the sky. Ew.
But no, I liked her scene with that kid, and I was
Sure.
like, where's this energy been his entire life?
Yeah, because he seems very taken
Entitled.
aback by
Yeah.
not even entitled. He seems very taken aback by the fact that his Aunt Rhaenyra might murder him. Like, I don't know.
So yeah, who's the new guy with the new old guy with the cane?
His name is Larys Strong.
Larys Strong.
Yeah. Well, he killed his father and his brother because Alice,
who is the father of Rhaenyra's.
Yes, yeah. So Sir Harwin Breakbones Strong is dead now, and he broke his promise to the boys that said he'd come back and that they'd write letters. I'm furious. Plus, his name's Ryan Core. He's so handsome.
Larys?
No, ew,
Oh.
Sir Harwin.
That's why I was surprised.
No, Larys is a wheezy little bitch.
I'm sure Matthew's very, very nice and charming in reality.
Boo.
And so presumably he's entrapped Alicent, though, because she's
complicit in this now.
And she doesn't want to be. But
well, she's like, I didn't ask you to do that. And he's like, so sad. And now he's Lord of Harrenhal because he killed his whole family. So he inherits that seat.
There was one more plot that I'm clinging to. What was the last?
Well, Daemon is over his head with 2 daughters, for sure.
I kind of am interested in that. I kind of want to see what's going to happen there.
Yeah.
My guess is not much. We're going to skip another 10 years, and then they're going to be murdered in the second scene of the next episode.
Well, Rhaenyra and Laenor are going to Dragonstone. They're leaving King's Landing, and they're going to Dragonstone, as they should have done many moons ago. And he gets to bring his new boyfriend, who is also very cute.
I swear there was one more plot point, but I can't.
Was it about the Sir Criston and Sir Harwin like fighting?
I don't think so.
Because Criston baited him into that for sure. And it's like, if there's a well-kept or like a poorly kept secret at court, just fucking let it lie, man. How many fucking kings and queens do we want to assume have been legitimate or illegitimate over the year? Get out of here. I don't care.
So, okay. Well, I think that's...
Yeah, woof.
That's about it. It was...
an episode. Like we said, though, I think Emma Darcy and Olivia Cook should deserve a lot of credit.
In spite of this energy, like we both at the beginning that we're still enjoying and capable of enjoying it. It just, this was a tough one. This was definitely a episode.
Also, at least on Game of Thrones, I want to say at least it was like many episodes before we just started indiscriminately killing people. And I feel like we've indiscriminately killed someone in every single episode, and I'm getting a little sick of it.
There is a so what, but for what? Like, what are we doing this for? Like, what does this show look like next season?
Exactly. And we did get some comment last week that it's apparently planned for 4 seasons, and then potentially it'll be caught up with Daenerys somehow. So we'll have to see about that. But I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't want that. I don't know. Let Emilia Clarke rest, for crying out loud.
All right. Well, we'll be back next week, and we'll talk to you then.
Bye.